Only God can make a tree. That's true. But I could make a little copy. Okay, so this is essentially what we're going for. It's not quite as wrinkled as I thought they would be, as I pictured them as being, and I need to glue down this edge. But it is essentially just paper toweling, and I wouldn't use countertop paper toweling for this. I would use this, school grade brown paper towel that, well, it doesn't really dry your hands very well, but it probably works for this. You're going to want a long piece of it, longer than you think, because you need the pucker in there, right? You need the rumple, the texture. So you want that in there, so you need to have a little excess. It can't be a tight wrap, otherwise you won't get any wrinkles. Now, something I didn't try before, I'm going to try this time, is balling it up. A little pre-wrinkle. Now the glue is going to sort some of that out. It's going to sort some of that out and make it less wrinkly, but I figure better to start with it that way and see what we get. Okay. Take a cardboard tube. I want to let it overhang a little on each edge. And just start with watered down glue. Just start to paint it. And at first it'll want to pop back up, but eventually you'll soak it so much that it will lay down. And wrap her up. Don't worry about gluing it all the way around as you go. You don't need to do that. And you get puckers, and that's great because that's just going to give you more texture. Tuck in your ends. Like that. And then start going to town with the glue. I should have done that. Don't pull it too tight. Don't do what I just did. Don't pull it too tight. Let's start going to town with the glue. See if this works. I don't actually know if this is going to work. Mind you, I'm doing this as an experiment on camera. So if you see this, it worked, because I'm not going to put up a video showing you, a disaster, what not to do. That would not be helpful for anyone. But just know that if you are watching this and it worked, it's dumb luck, because I have no idea if it's going to work or not. I've done that one, but it just doesn't really show that great. Really saturate this. Really saturate it. I'm saying confidently now as if I know what I'm doing. Get some in there too. Doesn't have to be a lot. It's not, the holding it in there, probably not that important right now. And a little bit of friction, a little bit of twist, right? And you start to get some, you don't want that rolled up like that. You start to get some nice, some nice vertical lines. That's what you want, looking like bark, right? My bark is worse than my bite. Why are you Southern? I don't know. Sounded better. Everything sounds a bit classier if you're a Virginia gentleman. There we are. Lumpy, bumpy. See how it looks when it dries. I've got different sizes of them, which are some really fat ones I wanted to try. It's essentially paper mache, right? I mean, that's all I'm doing when it comes down to it. I don't know. Again, I'm experimenting with this as I go. So we're learning together. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you already know how it's going to turn out and you're screaming at your monitor. You fool, you fool. People do that a lot with my videos anyway. I got some decent texture. I have to admit, I'm doing this video largely because I haven't had a lot of time to play the game with the boys lately. Both my middle guy, Touchberry, and the eldest, Fleetwood, had scouting trips, camping trips rather. Fleetwood with the Scouts and Touchberry with the Cubs. So that took out 2 weekends, right? It was 2 different weekends, and there went 2 weekends where, you know, we weren't all home. And I have been rather busy. We have the bishop is coming to visit the parish, so I've got to get ready for that. Not that that's stressful or anything, but anyway. So I've been occupied, and I really haven't had enough time to do, well, to even play the game, let alone record a video afterward. So, my apologies for those who are waiting for another episode. This week, instead, you get Arts and Crafts with Father Aaron. Some people are going to say, why not just go out to your yard and get some sticks and cut them down to size? And I say, I don't know, because I thought of this and I wanted to try it, that's why. That's why. More glue, that'll help. That'll fix everything, just put on more glue. I don't know what percentage of water and glue this is, incidentally. It's left over from when I did the tanks, the goblin tanks. When I made those, when I stiffened those things with glue. In that case, I did use the kitchen paper towel because I wanted the texture in the paper towel, which when it is painted correctly, it looks a little bit like chainmail. So I wanted that texture. I don't. Tree. You don't want a tree looking like it's made out of chainmail. That would be awkward for everyone. Yeah, it may just, this may just work. I don't know, we'll see. I got this idea because I saw on eBay, I saw some aquarium decorations, which were just tree stumps, and it made it look like you could put them in, and they were almost the whole height of the tank, so it would look like the fish were swimming through a forest. I don't know why you'd want it to look like that. There it was. And I thought that looked pretty cool. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll buy those because I gotta tell you, aquarium decorations, not always, but they can be a lot cheaper than buying terrain. I'll have to get more paper towel if I want to do more. I just grabbed a piece off of the dispenser at the church, at the parish hall. So, stealing church supplies for that demonic game? Oh, hi, Bishop. If you pull it here, it straightens it over here. How annoying. Alright, well, that's it. The early ones are starting to dry. They're starting to dry. I don't know if you can see that. They're getting some decent crinkles in them. This one's got really big swirls on one side. You know that it might work out. It might work out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll have to see another time because these all need to dry now. Hey, look, birch bark. Why does the tree have a seam? Quiet, you. Alright. Okay, since last night I have clearly painted these black. I didn't figure that was exciting enough to warrant a video. Just giving the black base coat. I've also put, where's the there it is. I've also put a disc of wood in some of them that fit. This size, the discs just snugly fit, and you actually have to really work them in there. This size, the only discs I had were much too small, and so they sit inside where the paper is gathered. You know, the overlap, the paper is stuffed in there, and it sits on top of that. I'm not going to glue these in place or anything because I think what I'm going to do is actually cut some cardstock to fit there. So I'm going to set those aside for now, and I'm going to see about painting these. Now, it's difficult to see because it's black. The texture is not great. If this weren't so nearly free, I don't think I'd bother doing it. But as it is, it's all, you know, toilet paper tubes and that kind of stuff. Things that I grabbed from other places, so I didn't spend any money on it. So I don't feel bad if it goes pear-shaped and not losing anything. Now, the thing is, trees, we usually think of them, you know, when we're drawing things, especially as little kids, we think of them as brown. The reality, those trees are gray, mostly. They're mostly gray. The problem is, if I paint these gray, they're going to look like stone columns. They're going to look like that's what I'm going for. Like I'm trying to make stone columns. So I'm going to go ahead and bow to pressure and paint it brown, but I'm going to do an overbrushing in gray, a light dry brushing in gray at the end. say I was going to do some gray. Pennies for the paint, and the loss of dignity to, you know, be always on the hunt for cardboard tubes. Be like, can I have your cardboard tube? When someone's done with their stuff, yeah, looks good. Looks good. Well, isn't this turning out well in a way that I could never ever in a million years replicate? Yeah. And someone's like, ooh, that's great. Could you do more? No. Can't. It's always the way. I do a thing and like, oh, that's great. I'll try to do it again. And then the next time I try it, it stinks. Like, oh, how did I forget between there and then? And now, how did I forget how to do this? But I just did. I just did. All right, so there it is. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I qualify as both simple and stupid. What I'm gonna do. Tops, I'm not going to try to paint in a wood color. First of all, it's already wood. I always love that when we take something wood and have to paint it up to look like wood, because it doesn't look like the right kind of wood. It doesn't look like wood at the scale that we're talking about. I'm just going to paint these black. The great thing about these craft paints is they do dry insanely fast. So if you have a few pieces and you do them, you know, each step on each one, instead of just finishing one and then finishing another, if you do, you know, assembly line style, by the time you get back around to the first one you started on, it's dry. Well, that's enough for tonight, I think. I don't need to show any more. Now, you could do it. I don't know that I'm going to. You could do little bits of green here and there, not with paint, but like with flocking, you know, a little vegetation. But I'm going for the idea that these are just the trunks. I might base them. I tried basing it with the cardstock. It's just, it warps whenever you paint it. So I might use, I've got some larger wooden discs. I might base these on those, and then, you know, I can put stuff, because there's always stuff closer to the tree, because, you know, no animals, when they go back and forth, they wear down. Or you go by with your lawnmower, one of the two. You can't get rid of the trees. There's always kind of longer grass around the tree. Anyway, so there they are. There they are, the trees.